Hey guys, back in the shop here. What we're going to do tonight is a little bit of sandblasting. When it comes to restoring a motor or just making stuff look nice again, you might be starting with parts that look like this. Here's a timing cover from a 94-95 5-liter Mustang. And, you can wipe it down with brake clean. You can use a wire wheel on it, all sorts of things, Scotch-Brite, whatever, just to make the aluminum look better. One of the quickest and easiest ways to make this look half decent is sandblasting cabinet. This used to be my dad's sandblasting cabinet. He restored lots of antiques with it, old Coleman lanterns, and my brother helped, I think my brother helped my dad make this. And my brother was always coming over to the house to use it, so I think Dad said to Chris, you make your own, you're using mine so much, so Chris has one. And now I have my dad's old sandblasting cabinet. It's a homemade. I'm probably going to upgrade the light in it, but as you can see, it's pretty neat. It does the trick. I have the duct hooked up to a fan up here. So back to the timing cover. Let's see what we can do with this thing. Let's see how nice we could make it look. Well, first things first, we don't want to put a whole bunch of oil and stuff in our cabinet. So I'm just going to wipe off some of the excess. Let's face it, there will be, I don't have a parts washer, so this is the next best thing, I guess. There isn't a whole bunch of excess oil or anything on here, just a little bit. So we're going to clean some of it off. Obviously there's this seal on here. That's in there pretty good. I think it'll pop out a little easier now. I'm going, you notice I'm going a little bit on an angle this way just so I don't scratch the surface that the seal goes against. Let's see. Yeah, there she comes. A little bit more. There she's out. Now, grab a razor blade to get any gasket material off. Here's our up close, what it looked like. We got rid of most of the bigger dirt and everything else. Okay, we got her in the cabinet. I know you can't see it quite as good as I can, but let's give her a go. All right, we're gonna check out, see how we've done. A lot of gasket material that has to come off. I might scrape some of this out. Yeah, we'll throw this back on the bench. Got the back side of it not too bad. That's pretty clean. Like, just a little bit more work back here and the back side is finished. And we'll scrape off some of the buildup. We'll get rid of some of the gasket material as well too. Okay, I scraped off most of my gasket material with the razor blade. I scraped up some of the extra loose items. Now we're going to use a Scotch-Brite pad on the end of a die grinder. Works great. It is aluminum, so you don't want to get too aggressive. Just get the gasket off. It's just so nice to have a nice fresh surface for your gaskets. It doesn't even hurt to go over the back side. Okay, we're going to go back to the sandblasting cabinet. do our final blast. We likely will miss a couple little areas, but we should be able to get it. Check out those surfaces right there, how nice it is now. Okay, we just finished up in the sandblasting cabinet again. I added another light, which helped out. What do you think? Let's take a little closer look at it out here. You know, you see you got all the part numbers and casting information still on it, really nice. I thought it turned out pretty darn good. There. There might be the odd little spot that I might have missed, but really it's pretty hard for a guy to get it any better than this. Now, here's where you guys come into play. Here's the question I have for you. So we have this timing cover. It's probably as good as we'll ever get it. Now, the goal is, after doing all this work, let's face it, we want to make it look as good for as long as possible. Do I leave it raw, just like it might have been from the factory? Do I use like a clear, high heat engine clear coat on it? This sort of looks like freshly sandblasted metal, this stainless steel paint. I've used it on things before. It looks actually pretty good. I got some parts here, they're kind of dusty. Let's take a look at it. Okay, here's a real up close. The stainless steel paint looks metallic-y. Now the sandblasted looks metallic-y as well. And then when you go to the clear coat, it doesn't look like such a metallic finish. It kind of does, but there's not too much difference between the three. You know, the raw one is the lightest, but at a glance, they're really pretty close. This one looks a little rougher just due to the fact that the casting is a bit rougher to begin with. So there's your difference, guys. I'll tell you guys, once you get started with the sandblasting cabinet, it's pretty hard to stop. I know that's the way my dad was when he was always restoring antiques. Like, look at this. This is the timing pointer for the 351. Let's see how long it takes. Well, it only takes a couple minutes. Just watch and find out. Like, look at how this turned out. Just amazing for just the few minutes it took. Hardly 2 minutes in the sandblasting cabinet. Honestly, it'd be nice if everybody could have their own sandblasting cabinet. If you have a big enough compressor, that's kind of important. But really, it's basically a glorified box with a hopper on the bottom. You could go to any, probably any plumbing outlet that does duct work and get a hopper made up. An old piece of glass to have for the lid. And of course, an exhaust fan does help. But all I can say is if any of you guys are planning on doing any restorations in the future or for other hobbies, these sandblasting cabinets are so highly recommended. It's almost like you keep finding stuff that you can just sandblast because everything turns out so nice. So it's well worth it. Think long term, especially if you're a younger fellow that wants to do some restoration work. Like I said, it's highly recommended and the results are amazing. It's a time saver. And the results speak for themselves. Have a great night. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Cheers.